ZTE's Axon Pro from 2015 was a good phone, but it fell short in a few key areas. It came to market with only one storage option, no expandable memory, and the dual camera setup on the back of the device felt a bit gimmicky. Not only does the company's latest flagship fix all of those problems, it brings much more to the table. It has a big 5.5-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, the latest Snapdragon processor, plenty of RAM, multiple storage options, and yes, expandable memory up to 256 GB. It also sports some killer front-facing speakers, all-day battery life, a great camera, and a sleek, attractive design. While certain parts of the software could use a little more polish, the ZTE Axon 7 goes toe-to-toe with the best in the Android market. It's also inexpensive at only $400, making this an even more attractive option for folks looking to score a solid flagship device, LG G5. While the Galaxy S7 series is a minor refresh in terms of design, the LG G5 sees a massive departure from the design language used in the G series, ditching the rear volume, power setup that first debuted with the LG G2. The G5 also adopts a unibody metallic design that has a removable cap for access to the removable battery and a port for modules that allow users to expand the phone's capabilities by adding a camera grip and other special accessories. The distinctly different design of the LG G5 may not be for everyone, but there's little denying that LG has went out of its way to try and innovate in a market where big changes like this aren't all that common. Spec-wise, we're looking at a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 with 4GB RAM, a 5.3-inch display, and 32GB storage with microSD for expansion. The specs here are certainly impressive all across the board. It's also worth mentioning that LG has revamped its software, making it faster and less bloated. One controversial move with the software, however, is the removal of the app drawer in favor of what LG says is a simplified experience, Moto Z and Moto Z Force. Motorola, well, Lenovo actually, is doing something different with their flagship phones this year. Instead of releasing just one flagship under the Moto X moniker, they've decided to release two new smartphones that do things a bit out of the ordinary. The Moto Z and Moto Z Force not only bring flagship-level specs, but also support 4 modules. These modules, called Moto Mods, attach to the back of both phones via magnets. There are only a few available right now, but they actually bring some handy features to the phones. You can purchase an external battery module, a powerful speaker, and even a projector. They both have killer specs, too. Both devices come with a 5.5-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, a Snapdragon 820 processor, 4GB of RAM, plenty of onboard storage, expandable memory, and run Android 6.0 Marshmallow out of the box. You might be wondering, what's the difference between these two phones? The standard Moto Z is super thin at only 5.2 mm in thickness, but it only comes with a 2600 mAh battery. The Moto Z Force is thicker, has a 3500 mAh battery, and also has a shatterproof display. These aren't the cheapest phones on the market, but they're certainly some of the best. LG V20. The V20 is basically the phone for power users. It has a big Quad HD display, Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor, plenty of RAM and onboard storage, dual 16MP rear-facing cameras, and a removable 3,200 mAh battery. Of course, the unique second screen makes a return this year, along with the addition of Quad DAC, military standard durability, and it's already running Android 7.0 Nougat. If top-of-the-line specs and an impressive feature set is what you're looking for, you can't go wrong with the V20. Google's Pixel and Pixel XL are here, and they truly are some amazing smartphones. Not only are they the first phones to ship with the Google Assistant on board, they also come with plenty of exclusive software features and some of the best smartphone cameras in existence. Under the hood, they sport some killer specs, too. Both devices have an AMOLED display, a Snapdragon 821 processor, 4 GB of RAM, plenty of onboard storage and long-lasting batteries. The overall design of these phones may not be the most unique, but they do feel like premium phones through and through. There are a few things about these phones that will turn some people away, though. For starters, they only sport an IP53 rating for dust and water resistance, meaning they're not nearly as waterproof as the Galaxy S7 or S7 Edge. There are ways around that, but none that will make the devices truly waterproof. Plus, if you buy the Verizon model, you'll have to deal with a small amount of bloatware, you won't be able to unlock the bootloader, and Verizon will be handling all Pixel and Pixel XL software updates. If you're in the market for a new flagship Android phone and don't mind spending over $650, you should buy the Pixel or Pixel XL. These are two of the best Android phones out there. HTC needed a saving grace this year, and the 10 just may be it. The Taiwanese company finally designed a phone that's different enough from its predecessor yet still sports a familiar design language. With an all-metal chassis, front-mounted fingerprint sensor and a new and improved speaker setup, the HTC 10 easily made its way to our best Android phones list. Under the hood, the 10 comes with some killer specs. A 5.2-inch Quad HD display, Snapdragon 820 processor and 4 GB of RAM are in line with most other flagships this year, and it also comes with expandable storage up to 200 GB and a 3000 mAh battery that will have no problems lasting an entire day on a single charge. HTC also improved the camera this time around, which was a big flaw in last year's One M9 flagship. All in all, the HTC 10 is an awesome device. Great specs and a solid build quality are what you'll get here. What more could you ask for? Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. Samsung did a killer job with their 2015 flagship smartphones, the Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge. Design-wise, many would say those two phones were close to perfect. The company forwent a plastic design and instead included glass front and back panels with an aluminum frame. They weren't without their flaws, though. The S6 and S6 Edge didn't offer expandable storage or removable batteries, two features Samsung has been known to include in all its smartphones for years. Now the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge have made their way to the masses, and they fix many of the problems the S6 line introduced last year. While they don't offer removable batteries, Samsung included expandable storage on both handsets in case the 32 GB of onboard storage isn't enough. Samsung mostly stuck to the same design this time around, though they did shrink down the camera bumps on the back and made the devices a little thicker to make room for larger batteries. In terms of specs, these are top-of-the-line smartphones. They come with Quad HD Super AMOLED displays, Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processors, 4 GB of RAM, great 12MP rear-facing cameras and run the latest version of Android. Instead of featuring the same screen sizes this time around though, Samsung kept the S7 at a smaller 5.1 inches, while the S7 Edge has been bumped up to a larger 5.5-inch panel. Seriously, these are some incredible smartphones. They are a little pricey, but all in all, we think the high asking price is worth it.